right, so now we're looking at multiplying a monomial, which is one term. We have our monomials here, times a polynomial, which are located on the inside of these parentheses. And so what we want to do is do the distributive property, and we want to multiply our coefficients, which are our numbers, and then we add our exponents with the same base. And while we're doing that, we're doing the distributive property at the same time. So my first step here is to multiply 4 times x squared. This x squared has a coefficient of 1. So 4 times 1 is just 4. And I just bring down my x squared. I multiply 4 times 2x. 4 times 2 is 8. And I bring down my x. And 4 times 1 will give me a positive 4. And I have multiplied that monomial times that polynomial. Here this is a little different because I have two variables, but I still want to multiply my coefficients, and I want to add my variables or add my exponents with the same base. Okay, so I want to multiply that 3ab times 2a squared. I multiply 3 times 2. That gives me 6. And I have an a to the first. I don't see an exponent here, so that's the understood 1. So a to the first and a to the second. Again, I want to add those exponents. That gives me a to the third. And I have a b, but I don't have a b here, so I simply bring that b down. All right. Then I want to go back. I want to multiply 3ab times 3b squared. My coefficients are 3 and 3. They're both positive. So that's plus 3. I'm sorry. 3 times 3 is actually 9. All right, so 3 times 3 is 9. And then a, I don't have an a in this term, so I simply bring that a down. And then I have a b to the first, because I have an exponent of 1 because I don't see it. So b to the first and a b to the second. When I add them, I get b to the third. Okay. And when you're multiplying your polynomials or a monomial times a polynomial, you want to make sure you're not left with any like terms. And again, the way you identify a like term, you have to have the same variable and exponent attached to that variable. So although I have an a and a b in both, they have different exponents. So I have an a to the third and an a to the first. So that tells me right there that they are not like terms. So I will leave them separate. I have multiplied that monomial times that polynomial. All right. My last one here, I'm going to multiply 5x squared y times the 2x y cubed first. So 5 times 2 gives me 10. All right. And I have an x to the second and an x to the first. I add my exponents. That gives me x to the third. I have a y to the first and a y to the third. I add my exponents. That gives me a y to the fourth. Now I have to go back and multiply that same monomial times my other term in my polynomial there. So this is an understood -1. So 5 times -1 will give me a -5, which is the same as a -5. All right. I have an x squared. I don't have an x term here, so I simply bring that down. And then I have a y to the first and a y to the first. So I add 1 plus 1. That gives me y to the second. Alright, so I want to check to see if they are like terms, and no, they are not. Again, I have the same variable, but they don't have the same exponent. So I have multiplied my monomials by my polynomials.